and it's set for providing training opportunities in literacy, employability skills, and entrepreneurship to persons in the PATH household.
The Labour and Social Security Minister says there is also a loan facility component to the project where persons are provided with necessary assistance to start their own micro-business.
It is an interventionist program and a vital option especially for youth who have dropped out of school at a post-grade 9 level. Since the start of the program, 5,000 persons have been screened for assistance. Of this figure, 1,500 has been referred to partner agencies or in various stages of receiving intervention.
The Steps to Work project was officially launched at Gabriel's Anglican Church Hall in Maypen yesterday. There are currently 326,000 people in the project, and Minister Charles says the Prime Minister has instructed his ministry to increase the number to 360,000 persons. Government parliamentarians are urging the opposition to pass the Charter of Rights Bill, even if the Caribbean Court of Justice, the CCJ, does not become Jamaica's final appellate court. This as the debate on the bill continued in Gordon House yesterday. The details from Andrea Chisholm.
The parliamentary opposition has already signalled that they are in full support of the Charter of Rights Bill, but on one condition.
The move to put the legislative foundation in place for the Charter of Rights and the Caribbean Court of Justice should be undertaken at one and the same time.
It's against this background that government parliamentarians are making their call, as the bill needs at least 2/3 majority or 40 votes to make it through the lower house.
And it cannot be used as a bargaining tool to fulfill political objectives. Let us put aside the Caribbean Court of Justice. That is to be dealt with separately from this bill. I ask the opposition to support this bill. It's a good bill without any other considerations attached to it.
The Caribbean Court of Justice speaks to a legal system and does not constitute any of our inalienable rights. We need to pass this important bill and lay down the very important foundations to be upheld by our courts.
Mr. Mayor also challenged the private sector, churches and other stakeholders to spend time explaining the Charter of Rights Bill to Jamaicans. For GIS News, I'm Andrea Chisholm.
Those were the stories making the news today. For more information, please visit our website at www.jis.gov.jm. Stay with us. Jamaica Magazine continues. Thanks for staying with us. We begin this segment of the magazine with another feature examining the work of the Bureau of Standards Jamaica.
Metrology is the branch of science concerned with measurements. The Bureau of Standards Jamaica, BSJ, the guardian of standards, ensures accurate measurements by providing traceability in the calibration of measuring instruments. This, of course, to international standards. Through its metrology services, the Bureau assists with quality assurance and control in engineering and manufacturing. These industries use metrology to develop systems that ensure products or services are designed and produced to meet or exceed customer requirements and eliminate failure. Calibration of length measuring instruments is done in the Bureau's Dimensional Metrology Lab. It's a field of metrology that deals with measurements of length, angles, and geometric relations.
Our clients are the Jamaican industries, particularly the processed food industry, also other manufacturing industry here in Jamaica, the bauxite industry, and so forth. We also get clients from inside the Bureau of Standards, Other internal clients include the mass lab, the force and pressure lab, and also the flow and volume lab.
Persons can be sure of the highest degree of accuracy in the readings of their measuring equipment calibrated by the Bureau.
The processed food industry, a part of their requirements is the can seam thickness. It has to be to a certain level, and outside of that level, they won't be able to export because it's a safety requirement. Therefore, you would find that they would bring their can seam micrometers here to be calibrated. With using that micrometer, they are better able to be sure that the requirements in terms of tolerance for the can seam levels are accurate.
BSJ, the standard bearer, is the sole entity providing calibration services for industrial length equipment.
For this lab, we do micrometers, calipers, dial gauges, rules, T-bars, depth gauges, any kind of lead measuring instruments. We calibrate them, and we are the only one that does that in Jamaica right now.
The BSJ has broken new ground as it continues to upgrade its labs. In the past, gauge blocks, the standard used to calibrate length instruments, were sent abroad for calibration. However, with the acquisition of its own gauge block comparator, the Bureau now has the capability of doing the work here at home.
We were able to only do gauge blocks comparison, and our clients then would do their own calibration of their equipments, and they would send their gauge blocks to us for calibration.
The Temperature Metrology Laboratory is another of the service labs at the Bureau.
Our work here helps to transform the operational efficiency of various businesses, making them ready for regional, local, and international trade.
We know the importance of maintaining the correct temperature in processes like pasteurization for food preservation. In these processes, it is critical for thermometers to read correctly. This is critical for the processing industry, where the microbiological content of foods have to be controlled by cooking in the retards, usually at 250 degrees Fahrenheit.
If they have thermometers, ordinary liquid in glass thermometers, digital thermometers, dial thermometers, sometimes temperature recorders, even equipment like ovens and refrigerators, which the temperature needs to be measured, they will contact the temperature laboratory and we will do work for these persons.
We look to support any industry that looks to monitor any equipment that looks at pressure or force readings, by extension also torque. For example, we do pressure gauges, which are a major part of our day-to-day work, which helps to support the manufacturing sector in areas such as we know boilers, for example, have pressure gauges on them. They're very important. We don't want them to explode.
This lab impacts on industries such as the liquid petroleum gas sector. It deals with equipment such as boilers and practically anything that deals with pressure.
We have a variety of standards from a lower end to a higher end. We use pressure gauges to compare against the pressure gauges we get. And I have one set up on our pressure comparator, which allows us to compare the value of our test gauge, which we know we are confident in its accuracy, to the customer's gauge on the right. And we here ensure that those gauges are reading correctly so that they can be confident that their equipment will not fail.
The Bureau of Standards Jamaica, promoting safety and advancing development through standard. Mark our word, standards can work for you. Look out for our next feature when we'll continue to look at the role of the BSJ in maintaining high standards in Jamaica. For further information, call the BSJ Marketing Unit 926-314025 or email info@bsj.org.jm.
Today is being observed internationally as